Fear is not loud. It doesn't scream when you open a trade. It whispers. It whispers when you move your stop loss. It whispers when you close too early. It whispers when you hesitate and miss the move completely. And the dangerous part? You think it's you making logical decisions. You think you're being careful. You think you're protecting your money. But what if I told you the very thing you believe is protecting you is the same thing quietly draining your account? Most traders don't lose because they lack strategy. They lose because they don't understand fear. Not the obvious kind, not the kind that makes your heart race, but the subtle, hidden fear, the one that disguises itself as logic. You see, when you enter the market, you are stepping into an environment of complete uncertainty. Anything can happen at any moment, and your mind, it hates that. Your mind is wired for certainty, for control, for prediction. So when it faces the randomness of the market, it reacts. It tries to protect you, but in doing so, it sabotages you. And until you understand this, you will keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Let me explain something most traders never truly grasp. Fear is not the enemy. Misunderstood fear is. Fear is simply your mind trying to keep you safe. But safe from what? From pain, from loss, from being wrong, from uncertainty. So when you place a trade, your mind immediately starts asking questions. What if this loses? What if I'm wrong again? What if I lose money? And in that moment, you stop seeing the market clearly. You stop thinking in probabilities. You start thinking in outcomes. One trade, one result, one win, or one loss. And that is where everything breaks. Because the moment you focus on one trade, you attach your emotions to it. And the moment you attach your emotions, fear takes control. Now you're not trading your system. You're trading your feelings. And feelings are not consistent. The first thing you must understand is this. A single trade means nothing. Let that sink in. Nothing. But your mind doesn't believe that. Your mind treats every trade like it matters, like it defines you, like it's a test you must pass. So what do? You interfere. You close early to secure profit. You avoid valid setups because it might fail. You move your stop loss because it might come back. Every action driven by fear, not by logic. The second lesson is this. You are not afraid of losing money. You are afraid of what losing money means. Think about that. Losing money is just an event, but your mind adds meaning to it. It says, I'm not good enough. I made a mistake. I can't do this. So now, every trade becomes emotional, because it's no longer about the market. It's about you, your identity, your confidence, your self-worth. And when trading becomes personal, fear becomes powerful. The third lesson. Certainty is an illusion. You cannot know what will happen next in the market. You can't. No indicator, no strategy, no experience can remove uncertainty. But most traders, they are chasing certainty. They want confirmation. They want reassurance. They want to feel safe before they act. And because of that, they hesitate. They second guess. They miss opportunities. Or worse, they enter late when the move is already over. And then fear shows up again. The fourth lesson. Fear thrives on inconsistency. If you don't trust your system, you will fear every trade. If you change your rules constantly, you will doubt every decision. If you don't have a defined edge, you will rely on emotion, and emotion feeds fear. Consistency is not just about results. It's about behavior. It's about doing the same thing over and over again, regardless of the outcome. That's where confidence comes from. Not from winning, but from trusting your process. The fifth lesson. Detachment is the real skill, not prediction, not analysis. Detachment. The ability to place a trade and accept whatever happens next, without emotional disturbance, without interference, without fear. This is what separates professionals from everyone else. Let me show you how this plays out. A trader sees a perfect setup. Everything aligns. The signal is clear, but he hesitates. Why? Because the last trade was a loss. So now he's afraid. He waits. He overthinks, and the trade moves without him. Later, he feels regret, frustration, and now he jumps into the next trade without confirmation, trying to make up for the missed opportunity. And that trade loses, not because the market is against him, but because fear took control. Another trader enters a trade. It moves slightly in profit, then pulls back. Nothing unusual, but his mind starts racing. What if it reverses? What if I lose this profit? So he closes early. Small win, feels safe, but later, the trade hits full target, and now he feels something else. Regret, and regret creates more fear. One more. A trader places a trade with a stop loss. The market moves against him, slowly, approaching the stop, and fear whispers, "Don't let it hit." So he moves the stop further, giving the trade more room. But the market keeps going. Now the loss is bigger, much bigger. And the worst part? He knew what to do, but fear made the decision. Here is the shift you must make. You must stop trying to avoid fear and start understanding it. Fear is not telling you the truth. It is telling you a story based on past pain, past losses, past mistakes. But the market does not care about your past. Each moment is independent. Each trade is unique. And your job is not to predict. Your job is to execute with consistency, with discipline, with acceptance. You must learn to say, this trade may win, this trade may lose, and I am okay with both. Because when you truly accept that, fear loses its power. So how do you actually apply this? You start by defining your edge, clear rules, entry, stop loss, take profit, no ambiguity, no guessing. Then, you commit to executing those rules exactly as they are, no adjustments, no interference. You take every valid setup, not some, not only the ones that feel good, all of them. Because you are not trading outcomes, you are trading probabilities. Next, you redefine your relationship with loss. A loss is not failure. It is part of the system. It is expected. It is necessary. If your strategy has an edge, losses are built into it. So when they happen, there's no reason to fear. Then, you practice detachment. After placing a trade, you let it play out. You don't watch every tick. You don't react to every movement. You trust your plan, and you step back. This is not easy, but it is essential. And finally, you measure your success differently, not by profit, not by wins, but by how well you followed your rules. Did you execute correctly? Did you stay disciplined? Did you remain consistent? That is success. Because if you can do that, the results will follow. Fear will never disappear. It will always be there, waiting, whispering, trying to protect you. But now, you see it. Now, you understand it. And that changes everything. Because the goal is not to eliminate fear. The goal is to trade anyway, to act in the presence of fear, without letting it control you, to trust your system, even when your mind doubts, to accept uncertainty, even when it feels uncomfortable. This is what it means to become a trader, not someone who predicts the market, but someone who masters themselves. So the next time you feel that hesitation, that urge to interfere, that voice telling you to play it safe, pause and ask yourself one question. Is this my system talking, or is this fear? Because the moment you can tell the difference is the moment you take control, and that is where consistency begins. This content is inspired by the teachings of Mark Douglas,